I just saw him too at La Quinta.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
he's still coaching. Oh, yeah, you're coaching.
Yeah, we played against him, so he was still there.
All right. This is the 29th episode of the 100 Podcast. I brought in my boy Andrew Vela. Sorry, I'm a white guy. I'm terrible at last names, any pronunciation. But I brought you in too because also like you're a coach. You did play a little bit of professional basketball. You played college ball. You've done a little bit of everything. You're a dad. But I guess let's start out from high school. I guess from your senior year of high school to playing college ball. Like, what was the jump? The jump from high school, and I didn't even play basketball much. I played my freshman year, so I don't know much about basketball. So this is pretty interesting for me to hear a little bit of the ins and outs of the actual game.
I think the biggest thing, like the biggest jump from high school to college was being like on a routine. I think like in high school, like you kind of you just kind of mess around, like you don't really take it serious. No one's really on your back about stuff. So and I think in high school you know obviously party, you have friends, and you just do certain things. So I think the biggest thing was having like a strict like schedule. I mean, I'm not a big guy, so in college, like the first thing I did was had to go on a meal plan, and then I had to hit the weight room, and I don't know, it was just weird, like having a set schedule, like always being told like what you have to do, and you know you gotta do this, gotta do that, can't eat that. So I think that was the biggest thing. And sleep. in high school I didn't sleep. Like I would stay up to like 2 or 3 playing Xbox, and then getting to college, like you're asleep by 10 or 11 after homework because you're tired, and then waking up at 7, you know, eating right, hitting the gym. So it was tough. It was hard.
So I talked to a couple of the guys that play college football, and they said it was basically like a full-time job. Is it the same way in basketball? Is there like a film room session? Is there any time you're with just your particular like the point guards stick with the point guards, or the centers just do, you know, film room with the centers? Is there anything like that, or is it a little more
really.
team related?
Everything is like team related.
Just because it's smaller, right?
Yeah,
smaller.
But I think there's certain guys. I mean, for me, I didn't start right away in college, so I definitely had a point to prove, and I only had a couple of offers out of high school. So, like, this for me was huge. Like, I was just super thankful for the opportunity, and you know, had to prove myself. I mean, we're from the desert, so not too many people, you know too much about us. So I was just a little 5'8" Mexican point guard from La Quinta. So I definitely, like I said, the first 5 games I didn't start. But I think, you know, just sticking on the routine and like watching film. Obviously, you have film breakdown, but a lot of the guys, like, you would watch individual film. So for me, like, that was the thing. I just studied, and we played somebody, and I already knew everything. So I think for me, like, that's what helped me out a lot.
And and where'd you play college ball at?
I was in Oregon. Yeah,
really?
The Christian school out there.
Okay,
so,
all right, legit. Yeah. Do you guys? Because I should have played longer in high school. I wish I played more in the freshman year because it was fun. But are you guys calling plays? Like, how often? Like, how often are you guys calling plays? Or is everything just kind of on the fly? Like, what is the ins and outs of the game? Especially college, not high school. Yeah. More like, what's the college game like?
I think college is definitely a lot more plays because I feel like you have a couple days to know who you're going to play. So I think it's kind of like the NFL. Like, you know people scout you. So you kind of have to switch things up a little bit on the fly.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different, but, you know, for us, we were, you know, guard heavy, so we played just really quick, really fast. And I think we had to do a good job of switching up stuff. Because like I said, teams know what you run. They know, like, certain people in certain spots. They know what's coming. So that was the hardest part. And just trying to be like a quarterback, I guess, and just try to, you know, just change up things a little bit, and just, you know,
try to vision on the court, and kind of
it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
So I think for us it was just trying to just play on the fly, and, you know, just trying to be smart on what's going on, because sometimes you play teams that are athletic and long, so you have to watch certain stuff. Sometimes you just play a big team with big ass kids, and it's even tougher. So I mean, it was fun. it was cool. It's just like I said, it's a lot of studying and a lot of trying to figure out what their weaknesses is.
Was it a shock to your system coming from the desert to Oregon?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like,
I hated it. I was there for like 2 weeks and want to come home.
Really?
I hated it.
Really?
Yeah, because it's nothing. For one, there's nothing to do. 2, there's maybe 2 or 3 bars out there. 3, the weather. It's always cloudy. Always cloudy. So going to sleep in rain and waking up in rain was not cool.
That is shit.
I hated it.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah, I didn't see the sun until like January, February, and I was there in September. So August, September till January, I didn't see the sun until I came home. And I came home, saw the sun, and was outside all day. Like,
and were you were out there for 4 years?
No, I was only out there for 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for 1. Because then, the next opportunity came. So, yeah.
Okay, let's get it. Tell us more. We talked about it just a little bit in the beginning, and it's actually pretty interesting. So let's go into it then. Unless you want to go a little bit into the college life. How was college life out there?
College was fun. I mean, it was fun, but it wasn't fun because I feel like, before obviously you start, you have to sign a contract, like pretty much saying like you're not going to do anything dumb. As far as going out and drinking and smoking and all that stuff, and there's random drug tests. So even on social media, you can't post certain things, and it's crazy because I don't think a lot of people know like that when you're in college, like they really control what you do. Like you can't post certain stuff.
Is that I'm sure obviously like especially D1 schools, big schools, but especially like a Christian school, right? Yeah. You said you're at a Christian school, so I remember I almost went to it was called like Crown College. To play football in Minnesota, and it was the same type of shit. You gotta sign that. Sign that
and it's hard because you can't just go on Instagram and mess around. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So and the staff, they have like your Twitter, they have your Facebook, they have your Instagram, so they can look you up and like see what you're doing. So that was the hard part, cause you can't do anything.
So you feel like did you kind of miss out on some of the college experience?
Definitely. Cause like I said, I don't think a lot of people know. Like I said, that they control you. They control what you post. They control what you say. I mean, we had news and stuff in media, so can't say certain things. Like they write out what you have to say. Like it's all it's controlled. And then the coaches. I mean, I think it's all politics to some point, who you know, what you know. So there was just a lot of ins and out of it, and I think a lot of people don't know until you get there, and it just feels like everything like you're stuck.
After that experience, do you still are you happy you went? Are you happy you went to Oregon and played?
I mean, it was fun to get out of the desert, and obviously everyone's goal in high school is to play college ball, so it was definitely cool.
You took that next step. A lot of people don't go either, bro. A lot of people you think are actually gonna play don't do it.
Staying here. Yeah. So it was cool. It was hard at first, but I mean, it was fun. I met some cool guys, and some of them are my best friends now. So it was just really fun. Like my roommate, he's from Australia, so we still in contact all the time. He actually came out here for Coachella a couple years ago. His first Coachella, yeah. So like I said, some of those guys, like we still talk all the time. My best friends, and they're doing their own thing. So it was fun.
So now take us from that to your and also take us into that how they heard about you. Like how'd you even get to that opportunity, I guess.
So what happened was the end of the season of college, our coach quit. They had the assistant coach come in, and he, had a meeting with everybody individually, and he was telling us, like we're safe, like we're gonna stay on the team, like you guys have a spot next year. So I went home for break, came back, and there was like 4 other guards walking around campus. So I was like, what happened? Talked to him, and he was like, "Oh, we're bringing in some new guys. No one's spot's guaranteed now because we."
You're like, all right, well, so we're not safe. Right, cool. All
I'm out. I was like, damn, like, how you gonna do us like that? Like, I'm from California, my friends from Australia, my other boys from Nevada. So we're all like, what's gonna happen to us? Like, this is our scholarship.
And that's all you guys are guards.
Yeah, we were all guards. Yeah. So we were like, we kind of felt backstabbed in the way. So my friend, he went back to Australia. He didn't want to stay. And then for me, I was trying to transfer out, but during that time, you couldn't transfer. You had to get an okay from your athletic director to speak to anybody else. They couldn't just come talk to you. So my athletic director at first didn't want to sign it and didn't want me talking to nobody. So I was just kind of like stuck.
And it's because you were the starting point guard from the last.
I think they didn't want me to leave. Yeah, and I wasn't a drama kid, so I just went to class. I had a 3.4. Like went to school, did my homework, and
you're gonna be
out.
there.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be there. I wasn't, doing stupid stuff. So yeah, he didn't want to sign it, and finally I had like 4 or 5 coaches from California hit him up, and then he finally signed it. And so I talked to a couple schools out here, had a couple visits. And then one of my buddies knows an agent. He reached out to me. He's like, "What's going on?" And then I kind of told him my situation. He was like, "Well, hold up. Like, let me get you in contact with this guy. He's like, he'll hook you up." So I was like, "Hook me up? Like,
what does that mean?" Yeah.
He's like, "No, like you'll get away from college." He's like, "I'll get you opportunity." And I was like, "All right, cool." Got a message on my Facebook, and he was like, "Hey, my name's so and so." He's like, "I have this opportunity for you." He's like, "Send me your film." So send him my college film. He sent it to the guy. He was like, "All right, cool." A couple of days later, I got a call from a pro team in Mexico. He was like, "Hey, we're about to be out in Vegas in July." He was like, "We need you to sign up, register, send all your stuff so we can view you." So I was like, "All right, cool." So he got me in contact with them. There was like 12 of their owners there. And then, day before I left, we kind of talked about it a little bit.
Yeah,
day before I left,
exactly.
I'm in my room.
Real life experiences.
Real life, yeah. Real life. It hit me in the face. Found out that I was having a baby. My second one. Day before I left. So, me having this basketball dream and, having that on my mind. When I was told the news, I'm not even gonna lie, it wasn't that I wasn't happy. It just
you
felt
just
like
had probably every emotion running through your body at the same time. You know?
So I wasn't too excited. I was kind of told, and then I was in shock. And then obviously you're excited and super lucky to have a baby. So I was happy for that, but I just think the timing of it was just a little shocking. So trying to be out there and playing while you're thinking of, an unborn child and how they're gonna survive and how you're gonna parent them if you were to leave, was tough. It hurt a little bit.
So did you end up playing at all? Like did you after you found out after that Vegas, did you end up like going down to Mexico at all and playing?
Well, I went out there to go visit one of the teams. They were in Aguas Calientes, Mexico, and they were one of the teams that was like super high on me. So they were the ones that actually contacted me and told me to enter the draft, and they were gonna take me when they had their pick. So I went out there. Everything was cool. I had to get my passport and all that stuff taken care of because I was still in the process. So did all that and was super excited. And then, it kind of came down to, do you, like, it's kind of like a 50-50 risk because I do know at the end of the day, basketball is a business, so you can get cut and replaced at any time. I can have a bad game, coach not like me no more, and be like, hey, you know what, like, we're done.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just, trying to figure out the best situation for, my baby and our families.
It really wasn't a for sure paycheck.
No, it wasn't. It was for sure, but it wasn't for sure, if that makes any sense. Like, it was, so I didn't even want to jeopardize it.
Shit, even injuries or anything,
And I battled injuries through high school, so I was already, like, up against the odds. And I just didn't want, my family to go through that and have to worry about me financially and stuff. So I just felt it was better to just, take care of my baby and, get a grown job and, just be a father.
So what was your adjustment? What'd you do? What are you doing now?
So right now I'm working for Mission Healthcare.
Okay.
So, our high school coach, Ryan Towner, he actually is like our supervisor. So he got me a job with them. So right now, like all the Palm Springs area and the high desert, like that's my territory. So just making sure like these people get the help that they need as far as physical therapy, nursing and stuff to their house. So just been super busy with that. And I mean, during all this virus stuff, I mean, it's even worse.
And then I know you're coaching too at Shadow Hills actually. How is that? Like, have you talked to any like what? How is it not, like you said, with the whole coronavirus, obviously you said it's crazier for your day-to-day job, but even coaching, like how is that? Do you guys even know, how it messes with your guys' season or anything
Yeah, I mean, we don't know too much yet. Like, we've been on lockdown, so we haven't even been able to see the kids. But I think, our coaches are doing a good job of, like, they have, like, a group text with workouts and, things that they're supposed to be doing. So I think that's helping a little bit. They work with Hargett, so they're doing pretty good. But I think it just hurts not being able to be in the gym with these kids. And
I had Michael Avignon.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they work out with them, and we actually just won CIF last year. So it's kind of tough to win CIF and still have that hunger to want to repeat.
You guys won CIF basketball?
We won CIF last year.
Really?
Well, this past year.
And you're the assistant coach?
Yeah.
So, how was that? Because that's a perfect thing to talk on. How... Could you see the mindset in the kids? Like when you guys won, could you see the difference compared to, I don't know, like any La Quinta team? Because I don't even know how La Quinta was in basketball. I think we were some years okay, I guess. But I don't
we
think
were always okay. Like, for me, I mean, my years there, I went to CIF all 4 years, but we never, like, won after that. So it was tough. But I think it starts with coaching. I think our coaches, starting with the head coach, I think he had our minds, in a place where we weren't going to lose. We talked about it all year. So to see it kind of happen was really cool. We worked hard and we were there 7 days a week in the gym. So I think it translated to the kids, and they stepped up. Was
there any special athletic ability, or was it just a good team?
I mean, we had a couple good guys on the team. Dom Escobar, he just signed his full ride to Cal State LA.
Okay.
So he was, he's pretty good. We just had a good team, man, from top to bottom, and then even with the coaches, I learned so much. Like, and we played Price in the finals, and Price
they're a good team.
Yeah, they were really good. So we were tied at halftime with them, came out, and we ended up beating them by like 15, 20 points.
So you ended up just balling out.
Yeah, they woke up the second half because it's different. We're desert kids. You're not used to a packed gym like. People standing watching the game, and Price was good, but I think our team was just solid from coaching staff all the way down to the last player on the team. So it was definitely a good experience, and hopefully we could get back again this year.
And how'd that feel winning a championship? Is that does that feeling?
Yeah, it's a good feeling because you put in all this work in the summertime, like with these kids and yourself. I mean, as a coach, you played sports, so you know that there's so much that goes on behind the scenes I was hardly home. I never really got to see our kids. None of the coaches did, and it was just always busy, and working with these other guys. So it felt good, like, to know, like, all the hard work you put in during the off season, like, it came out to this result. So it was tight. Speaking
on that, what's your day-to-day as a coach? Like, what are you having to do? How do you game plan? Like you said, you're not home much. Like, what are you guys doing? What's your
So for us, we probably, obviously we work, so we get to the gym straight from work. We don't even get to go home and change or anything. So, or eat. Really go from work to the gym by like 3 o'clock. So it's from 3 o'clock all the way till 7 or 8. You're just in there, with the kids, helping them out with certain things, as far as basketball stuff or school stuff. So we're doing that till about 7, 8 o'clock. By the time you get home, you're already tired and just want to lay down and eat. I got kids, so my kids want to play, and I'm tired and in a bad mood. Like, I just need to chill out. Like, I haven't had time all day to just sit. So it's just a lot, from film to workouts.
And you got girls, bro, so what are you playing? Are you guys doing tea parties and shit? Or what's
right now, it's just a lot of Barbies, and my kids right now are on that phase where they're watching a lot of... they're on the tablet all the time, so they're watching a lot of Baby Shark. My little one's into princesses, so she's watching anything with princesses.
Yeah, I know how it is.
It's tough, man. We literally got a whole living room full of dolls and, like, castles and stoves and ovens. I don't even have a living room, to be honest with you.
It's so crazy how being a dad just changes your life, so drastically. Like, even my meals, bro. I don't ever eat a meal like let's say, for example, bro, I was a Panda, right? I was a Panda, and I got a 2 entree plate for myself, dude. I got it for myself. My kids had Little Caesars, some pizza or something. And my little 2-year-old, bro, that dude was like, hey, can I have some, daddy? Yeah, whatever.
And they have their
Yeah,
own
bro.
food. Like,
Yeah,
they
they
don't
got their
want
own
to eat.
food,
They
bro.
don't want to eat their own food. They
Bro,
want to
he
take
eats all
your
by
food.
dude. I'm like, all right, I'll give you some. I give my 4-year-old. He ends up wanting some, and I'm like, all right, whatever. I give him some. I'm on the phone. I go back in. My mom's like, hey, they want more. I'm just like, give them the rest. Like, fuck it, dude. Give them all my
I'm not
food.
even hungry anymore
Yeah,
at this
I'm not
point.
even-
Like, just take it. No, I definitely get it, man. Like, my kids have plates full of food. The same thing I'm eating, and they'll come to me, take my food, and I'm like, your plate is right there with the same stuff. So it's a challenge. And they're girls, so you take away that plate, they're crying. Like, screaming at the top of their lungs.
I know.
Crying. Like, on the floor,
You can't be
crying.
bad daddy.
Yeah,
you know? You can't be a dick, you know, to your girls especially.
No.
But
It's tough.
how is that, bro? How is the dad life? How is that responsibility? Like what? How? I don't think a lot of people that don't have kids understand. Like what is the adjustment you had to make in your day-to-day life when you have kids? Because a lot of people that don't have kids, they act like kids are just like you can just deal with them. You know, or they're just like they're just annoying or whatever. And as a parent, it's just like, I don't know, everything, your whole focus, like, you're not the focus anymore.
Yeah,
your
no.
kids are the focus, you know?
That was the first thing, is you have to, like, understand that it's about your kids now and not about you. So, I mean, I think it even starts with sleep. You know, when you have a newborn, you really don't sleep. So, I think from that point, that was the hardest transition for me. Like, that was my wake-up call right there to know, like, all right, it's not about you anymore. Like, I know you're tired, I know you want to sleep, but your daughter's up. Like, so you got to take care of her first. So just with them on the day-to-day basis, is just, I wake up, I already have my 2-year-old in my face crying because she doesn't want to get up. And from there on, my other one doesn't want to get ready for school, or she's hungry, and then you're trying to just, like, feed one, dress another one, the other one's crying, the other one starts crying. It's just like, it's
Even
a
taking a
rotation.
trip to the store
Yeah,
takes
no,
an
that's
hour.
even hard. Like, I try not to take them to the store because it's like, one's happy, one's sad, then one's happy, the other one's sad, and it rotates. It rotates in a triangle. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So having girls is tough. I mean, it's cool. It's fun. Like, it's definitely changed me as a man. Because in high school, I would have never had thought that having kids was about to be my thing. But yeah, it just changes you, man. It changes you. I mean, you have boys, so I mean, you could still kind of be your tough self.
Be like, they can kick it with the guys, you know?
I can't. It's like, okay, sweetie, don't do this. Like, I can't yell. And sometimes I get caught yelling, and my mom are there. Like, they just can't talk to them like that. Can't yell at them like that. And I'm just like,
they're gonna
this isn't the way I want to do things. I'm not used to this. I'm used to, like, being like, hey, like, go do this.
like,
take
figure
that.
it out.
Yeah. I can't do that. I can't, because then I look like a bad person. So that's been challenging, and I catch myself sometimes. So yeah, them is just, it's different.
And on the other hand, because, you know, they basically run your life, you know, having kids runs your life. How do you keep yourself sane, bro? How do you I don't know, just keep cool while having kids?
I think for me, like, I have a good, like, schedule. I think I have a good support system. I think, you know, both of our families are pretty involved with the kids. So I think for me, it's going to the gym or just stepping outside for a couple minutes. I try to run or try to just go work out or play basketball or something. So that time right there is like the time where I'm like refocusing
That
and stuff
activity,
like that. Yeah. And like I said, you know, they help out so much, and you know, if I didn't have the support that we had, like, it wouldn't work out. So I'm super happy that I'm able to do certain things, because I know some people are cooped up all day and they can't drop off their kids anywhere. They have to keep them. So for us, you know, I think even their mom does a good job of, you know, stepping up and watching them. So it's been,
Gives you your time.
Oh
a little
yeah.
bit.
She's never been, you know, too crazy about that. She's always super helpful.
Yeah.
So it made it a little bit easier.
Because it's so crazy, man, having kids, and, you know, like, even like taking a shit, you don't have no privacy, you know?
Well, and mine are girls, so if I'm taking a shit, like, I watch out because if I'm wiping and my daughter's walking in, that's a different story.
Exactly,
so I have to make sure the door's locked and they don't come in. They try to come in once in a while. So yeah, it's definitely different. Showering's different. Like I can't do what I usually do. So you're just always like you're just always like just watching to make sure they're not there because they're kids. So they see something like that and they'll just stare at you and like. It's just bad. It's bad.
So I guess jumping from the kid's point, what's your is your goal? Are you want to just keep coaching, bro? Is basketball like what you want to keep doing?
Yeah, I think so. I think basketball for me is been around for a while, and that's where my escape is, and I feel like that's where I can concentrate and focus on. But I do know like being younger, you just got to be patient and just keep learning. I mean, lucky for me, we have good coaches where I'm at, and they've been coaching for a while. So just to learn from them is huge, and that just get ready to step up when it's my turn and I get an opportunity. So just being patient and waiting.
Do you have any tips for the high school kids coming up that want to play that college ball or play professional ball or just take that next step, even play semi-pro or whatever? You know. You have any tips for them, the kids that want to take that?
Yeah, I think it all starts in high school. I think grades, I wasn't super academic. I think I probably had like a 2.4.
In high school you were, and then in college you're like, I'm taking care of it.
College is different. Like once they give you a scholarship, it's different. But high school, I was probably like a 2.3, 2.4.
What do you mean by it's different once they give you a scholarship?
Like it's because you that's free money, so you don't want to like go up there and like. You
gotta like take care of business.
Yeah, you're set to have a 2.7. Like that's what you gotta have. If you don't have it, you're suspended. So for me, it's like I'm not gonna waste time out here to not be eligible to play. And we actually had like 4 or 5 guys ineligible. So probably the end of the year, we probably had like a 7-man team.
Really?
Yeah, just because people didn't take it serious.
And there's 5 men on the
team. So if you look at our bench, like the end of the game, there's 2 or 3. Wow. And one of the guys didn't play. So it was literally like a 7-man team. But it just hurts, dude. It hurts your team. It sucks having to play really good teams with 7 guys. It's not. I mean, it's fun to play, but it's not fun to lose. You don't have anything. Yeah. And there's no structure. So practice, you can't even go 5-on-5. You're going like 3-on-3. Like
I get it's not even basketball. You're playing like street ball.
Yeah. So and then you lose, and no one likes to lose. I think that year we had a really bad year, but we kind of picked it up at the end. But just to be out there, travel, and lose was not. I hated it.
That's not fun.
No, dude, it sucked. It just sucked, and to lose guys because they're not taking stuff seriously was the worst part.
Like you guys are just kind of like. Not only you're fucking all of us up, you're not fucking just you up, you're fucking all
team.
of us.
They they got kicked off probably like the 6th or 7th game, like suspended, kicked out, and I was like, I mean, like I said, playing with 7 guys isn't not gonna win.
And so you just knew, like, as soon as you had that scholarship or whatever, like, school wasn't an issue for you.
Yeah, now I was like, all right, I gotta turn it on. Like, I can't be. Yeah, I can't do it. Cause in high school, like. I was distracted. I was always late to class. I mean, you went to La Quinta, so teachers are chill. I don't know about now.
I know. I'm not gonna name no names. But playing football, some teachers took care of me. I had a nice time.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. And our head coach Hebner was the history teacher, so he had a lot of pull with grades and stuff like that. I don't want to say too much, but I mean, you were a football player, and at the time, La Quinta was a big football school. Like, they needed you, and Armstrong ran shit there, so anything he say went. And I think that was the thing, is knowing, like, you had people who can help you. Like, it was so much easier than college, because college is, like,
college is you.
There, yeah.
It's you.
The teachers don't care.
Like, and honestly too, like on the other hand too, college is interesting though. Like if you take some good classes, like it is interesting. Like you go to class and you're like, damn, I'm actually like they're making you have to like think, and you're actually you're gaining knowledge, and it's real life shit. Like I don't know, you're only there for a year. I was only in college for 2 years, but even the 2 years I was in college, it was like it felt like I learned some shit.
Yeah. Well, and then I think, like, high school is different, because how it usually worked for us is, like, we already knew the teacher we were going to go into, and you had people that already took that class. So they just sent you everything that
Just
you needed
told
to do.
you
Yeah,
exactly what was happening.
hey, here's the answers to the test, or here's the homework for this. So it wasn't like you really learned anything. It was kind of just like, I have to be here, like, to play. So that was my thing, and that's my goal, or like my tip is don't do that, like, because you need grades to go somewhere, like.
That academic scholarship can help you too. You know, if you got a 4.0 and you're kind of okay at sports, you know,
that gets you in. Yeah,
get you in and get you to play because once you get to college and you kind of sometimes people got to grow into their body. You know, sometimes people don't. They're not even fully grown into their body yet. You're in high school and then you grow another 4 or 5 inches and out of nowhere you're athletic. Mm-hmm. So.
That's how it is. So that was like my thing was just grades. I mean, and there wasn't anything to do out there anyway, so it was just always study. Like there was nothing. I mean, and it was crazy because like U of O was like 2 minutes from us, but I mean they went to the same bars all the time, and it was just I don't know. It was like a reunion. Like I thought here was bad, but out there was 10 times worse. Like you see the same people all the time. Hated it.
Because at least here, you know, it seems kind of close, but at least you got all these different cities. There's kind of a lot of bars.
Yeah.
It's somewhat spread out.
Yeah. No, there's like literally 3 bars, like in a row, like one here, and one there, and it was just the same people.
Did you go snowboarding or anything while you were over there?
Not really. I went hiking.
Okay.
Hiking. They had a lot of hikes, a lot of trails. They had a lot of waterfalls. So that's what I did, and I wasn't even a big hiker till I got there. And they had some really cool hikes, like with just nice stuff that you don't have out here. I mean, it's really green out there. So
it's not that desert look that you see out here all the time.
And it was cool, cold, and like it was good hiking weather. But I'm not a big hiker, so I didn't care too much.
And so far, is that where you? Have you done any other traveling? Have you gone any other places, or is that kind of like the farthest you went was Oregon?
No, well, once I like finished there, we were able to like go to Hawaii. We were able to go to Pittsburgh. We just got to do different things. So as soon as that was done, I was like, finally have some time. So we just try to travel anywhere, really. To be honest, we went to Minnesota. We just random places that people don't even think about.
What made you go to what made you go to Pittsburgh? What made you go to Minnesota?
Pittsburgh, I went to Pittsburgh because
Hawaii, I know that one.
Pittsburgh was because I heard that they had good food and their baseball stadium. I heard their baseball stadium was like the Pirates. I heard they had like one of the best stadiums out. So I was like, fuck it, we're going 3 days, 4 days, eat, hang out, we actually went to a baseball game too. We saw where the Pittsburgh Steelers play, so it was tight. It was cool. Like, it's just fun. Just little things like that is things I like to do. Honestly, just keep it low key. Like, let me have fun. We go to Seattle all the time, and Seattle's super fun. So just try to travel and just see different things. Arizona, you were in Arizona for a little bit, right?
Yeah, I was talking about just even being around that big city feel. Just the vibes you get from driving through those big ass, you see the big old skyscrapers. Yeah, so bro. You're like, damn, you could feel the potential. You could feel the money. You could feel like opportunity just running right through that shit. Yep. Like I enjoyed it. I lived right in the suburbs of Phoenix, basically. So.
Okay. Yeah, so we've been out there in Phoenix a couple of times, and we go to Suns games or Diamondbacks game when they play the Dodgers.
And Diamondbacks, the stadium's right there, like downtown Phoenix. That's like right there in the hood, basically,
cool.
bro.
It's cool. Yeah. We've partied out there a couple of times too, and they got a nice little nightlife out there. So it's fun. I mean, I like going out there.
Yeah, so traveling is definitely like a hobby.
For sure. I mean, now that we have kids, it's a little bit harder. Just because trying to take a 2-year-old or a 5-year-old on a 4 or 5 hour trip, it's not
the
easy.
car is hard, the airplane is hard, everything's pretty fucking hard.
Yeah, so we're just trying to wait a little bit and just trying to like plan it out when they get a little bit older where they can, enjoy certain stuff. Because we drive to Arizona and the little ones hate it. Like they go nuts after like the first 2 hours and they get bored. So it's not even a fun trip.
It's definitely not a fun trip anyway. No. If anybody's been from California to Arizona, that trip sucks.
That drive is terrible. There's nothing.
I grew up in Blythe. I was born in Blythe, so I'm right there in the middle of shit, dog. It ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Desert.
Yeah, well, my best friend's from there, Philip.
What's oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was my buddy. He's like my childhood friend.
For him and Vittery?
Yeah, both of them are my childhood friends.
Yeah.
Bitter's
I didn't
in
even know.
LA right now.
Yeah, I didn't even know Blythe was a city until I met those two.
Right there
My
on
first
the,
job.
I'm basically on the border of California, Arizona.
Yeah.
That's where it's at. Where'd you meet him at?
I met him at where were we at? My first job at Ralph's.
Dude, let's go. What are you doing? Oh, I thought you were bringing me beers. What are you
No,
doing?
jump on your purse.
Oh, I don't know, bro.
She said it's right here on the shelf.
On the shelf?
Yeah.
What's
Maybe
in the closet?
Oh yeah, again, you guys, it's 29th episode of fucking on my podcast. Just fucking get out and give
I'll
me
bring some
beer.
beer.
Yeah, bring me beer. Yeah, dude. So yeah.
Yeah, no. So my first job at Ralph's, I was a bagger, and I don't know if you remember Albert. He's in the military.
Albert, yeah, he was my best friend when I was a kid.
Okay, yeah.
dude.
So we were both baggers.
Albert Lorero.
So we were both baggers, and Philip was a bagger, but he was a bagger for like 2 months. He got promoted and was a cashier. So
Shout
he
out.
like
Shout out Nelson. He was on my podcast before.
yeah. So I met Albert, and we were just always messing around at work, and he got
He's
fired
the homie.
from messing around.
He got fired?
Yeah.
Really?
We all pretty much got in trouble. And then my brother got a job there, so it was like all four of us, like just stupid. They hated us. And then we finally all got fired. So Philip, I think, quit. And he left on good terms.
That's what's so crazy is I started seeing posts of you guys together, and I was like, these are all my childhood friends from Blythe. You know, like, what the
Now,
fuck?
once I met them, like, we hit it off, and we became, like, super close and tight. Albert, obviously, a little bit harder because he's in the military. But Vittery, we go up there and visit him sometimes. He's doing his thing.
How is it? I haven't. What is he doing? He's rapping. And
He's
stuff?
rapping now, yeah. So every time I go, the man is always eating wings and chicken and rapping, like no matter what. Cause I think he lives right there by a Wingstop. So they're there 24/7.
Wingstop's bomb too.
Yeah.
Have you had a Wingstop?
Yeah, I had it last time I went out there. So he was trying to like
Cajun,
introduce me to some stuff. But yeah, so they're all doing good, and Philip's here, and I see him almost every day. So
I've been trying to get him on my podcast, but he's not really. Down.
he's trying to get you to do sports. He said if you do sports, like he'll come on here.
I'll talk. If he comes on, I'll talk to him about sports. We can talk about that the whole time. He'll be my guy. We'll talk about when we think the seasons are gonna start. And
Yeah, no, he was supposed to come today.
hey, bro, what do you think about? Speaking of sports, what do you think about? I want to get to you on social media at some point. I want to ask you about social media, but what do you think about NBA? Like how do you feel, especially the Lakers, bro? Like, okay, you know, R.I.P. to Kobe. Kobe dies, right? The Lakers it looks like they're on their way to winning a championship. It's on the year Kobe dies. It seems like I don't know. It seems like a dream scenario.
Yeah.
And we have this pandemic. Like, do you just think the season's done? Do you think they're just like, all right, we're just gonna hold off till the next season, or do you think they're gonna try to finish it?
I think they're gonna try to finish it. I think it's definitely best if they do it without fans. I mean, just because of how serious this stuff is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's what's best, because I mean, if you cancel the season, it's like it was all for nothing. Like, what do? You start next season like 0-0 again?
It doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah,
if you got the best team,
yeah.
and it's
Because
like,
I feel like you said, it's the dream. Like, it's the dream scenario. Like, they were number 1 in the West. Like, they were number 2 overall. So I feel like this year it was like a good year for them. Like, really good.
not
team.
for sure, obviously, but it was like they had a good
chance.
opportunity.
They had a good
yeah,
chance. I mean, because the Bucks are pretty good, the Clippers are good, and we struggled against the Clippers. So you know what? It does suck in the sense for playoffs, but hopefully they can just do like maybe a couple games and then just hop into playoffs and then just go from there and kind of just treat it like it was almost
maybe just shorten the season.
Yeah,
out
just
or
shorten it a
something.
little bit.
Yeah.
So
Almost
that's
go
been
straight.
the worst.
Well, do you think there's a possibility of them just going straight into playoffs? Just saying, all right, regular season's over?
Not really, because I think, from being off all this time, I think they would need like a couple like tune-up games to get to that point. So I don't know if it's like would be 2 season games or just like a scrimmage or an exhibition game, something like that, and then just use the standings that they have now and just go to playoffs. So, I mean, I don't know. I've even heard like the playoffs, they're trying to start it in December. Like, they're trying to just take the rest of the time off and start in December.
Really?
That's what I heard.
Is that what? And when do the playoffs usually start?
They usually start like June. Like, they usually start like March, April, May. Yeah, like March to May, and then the finals is usually in June.
And so they're just gonna skip all the way to
Yeah,
December.
they're trying to skip it to December because the ratings. They feel like Christmas Day, those
That would be
ratings
crazy.
are always super high. So they feel like if they extended it, or they had playoffs in December, that their ratings would be super high in January.
That would make.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense actually.
Yeah,
That would
but
kinda make
because
sense.
I mean, it does make sense because it's like during Christmas time, that's when everyone's home watching sports. You're with your family. I think June, it's everyone's kind of partying and enjoying summer. Some people have it
Yeah.
off, so they're kind of just low key about stuff. So I've even heard that, which is pretty interesting. I wouldn't mind it. I think they definitely got to finish this year though. Like I think there was too many talent. I think this was the first year where they had like a talented like East and West, like 1 through 10. I think it was pretty even.
And on top of that, it was kind of nice. And I know there's a lot of bandwagon ass Warrior fans out there, but it was kind of nice not having the Warriors
there.
dude.
Yeah.
I was getting a little, and I like them. I like Curry. I like Thompson. I don't know. They all kind of moved around. Kevin Durant left. And,
Yeah.
I like the squad they had, I like the people, but it was getting a little annoying watching everybody be Warriors fans after there was no Warriors fans before that.
And now they suck. They were literally at the bottom. So, yeah, that was good too. But yeah, I don't know. I think this year would have been good. I think there was a lot of good teams. I mean, even the rookies in the league this year.
Yeah, who was going off as rookies? I didn't really watch too much to start the season.
The best rookie that I think that was like really taking it to another level would probably have to be Ja Morant from Memphis, the point guard from Murray State.
Yeah.
He was killing it. Tyler Hero, he was with Miami. They had some really good rookies there, and then just seeing like Trae Young play and Antetokounmpo and Kawhi with the Clippers, like I think it was just a really good year. I think it sucked.
I know, right? It was a good mix-up too of kind of talent.
Yeah, it was pretty balanced.
Just speaking on basketball, I guess. And playing point guard, what'd you do to train? Like let's say you're just kicking at your pad, you got a hoop, or maybe you don't got a hoop, you got a ball. What could you do as a point guard to kind of get you just, I don't know, a little bit of training? Just help your skills out a little bit.
I think it starts with film. I think when you have a favorite player and you have a guy that you can relate to, I think you watch film on them and just kind of see how they operate through stuff.
That makes sense.
So just watching them and how they carry themselves like on and off the court and even, during games and stuff, during, the good times and the bad times, I think that was... that was key for me. So just watching a lot of film and just seeing how I can grow, because basketball, I mean, it's mental. Every sport is mental. So I feel like if you have the right mindset and you have that focus, I feel like everything else is just easy. You know what I'm saying? So it was definitely a lot of film watching and just watching a lot of film on a lot of guys who I liked growing up. So.
Just seeing how they do it, how
seeing
professional
how they do
are.
it, and watching guys in college while I was in high school was cool. That was always the first thing we did was get home, watch college film, go to practice, and just try to carry that to there.
That's one of the most interesting things I've heard from multiple athletes is that same kind of sentiment is that it's the mental part, it's the film, it's the mental preparation. Like, obviously it's physical, it's the athletic abilities. If you're fucking built like LeBron, dog, it's gonna help you, Like, that's not what we're saying, but just how important it is to know your playbook, just know the team you're playing, know yourself, know what you're... Especially as a point guard, know what you guys are doing before they're even gonna do it. Like shit like that. It's just a mental game. People don't understand sports are really mental. It's not just a physical.
No, it is. And I mean, a lot of my film came in college, like watching the other team's point guard. What's their weakness? Where can I attack them? Where they struggle. So it was definitely a lot of film both ways. And for me, when I was up there, we played the number 2 point guard in the country. He ended up winning out of our whole league and our division, because we were NAIA, he ended up winning all NAIA. So playing him twice was tough, and just studying and just trying to figure out where his weakness is. So he's
basically, he was the top point guard in NAIA.
He was the top point guard in our class. So he killed it, and we played him twice. And I think the first game he probably got me for 15 points. Second game he probably went off for 20, 25. So I mean. Good players.
Still not too bad.
Yeah, I mean he was just good. I mean you can't be upset, but as a competitor, it's like you don't want that guy to do good. So playing him the first time, I really didn't think too much of him. I was kind of like, he was shorter than me, so he was just an average guy, and I think he just had really good coaches and a good team, and he ended up doing big things. I think he played in Europe. So he ended up doing good, and he was a good player. But as an athlete, you don't ever fucking want to admit that someone's good. Like, I hate that shit.
That guy.
Yeah, I'm like,
bitch.
I don't care if you score 30, like you're still not good. But he was good. I can say that now because I'm not playing anymore. So he was really good. And there were some tough guards in the league. Or there's even guys that we fucking played against that ended up going D1 the next year. So it was there was athletes. Yeah, there was a lot of athletes. So it was a lot of film.
And speaking on, just because you said he played in Europe, I guess how much opportunity do you have to play past college ball? Okay, football. Basically, the opportunity you got is NFL. That's about it. I feel like football is NFL.
Well, they just started like that.
XFL, but they just went bankrupt or something.
Okay.
They literally
that shit's done. Man.
So and the one the year before didn't even make it a full season. So that's just not working.
Yeah.
So basically, football, you got basically NFL, maybe the Canadian League.
Baseball, you got the most opportunities.
Yeah.
Period.
Baseball you do. You have soccer, I think, is the most, period.
Yeah,
soccer is probably, just because you got a motherfucking ball. That's it. A ball and you got some goals.
Yeah.
But basketball, not even percentage-wise, but I guess, do you think there's a good opportunity for you to play and actually make some money if you play college ball? If you go and you take that next step, you play college ball, is there a chance for you to make some money? Like a good chance?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of good chances to make good money and play somewhere good. But a lot of what people don't understand, like with overseas or just the next level, is who you know. If you know somebody, you could be on a college team and be but if you know somebody, there's so many different leagues out there to where they can get you an opportunity and a chance. And if you do good in that chance, like, that's your spot. Yeah. So it's just who you know. And I mean, there's been a lot of good players from college that were even D1 or from the NBA that played overseas, and I mean, they're making a good living for themselves. China, Italy, Germany, those are like the top 3 leagues to play in, period. So there's a lot of guys even from the NBA that are like, fuck it, like, I'm just gonna go overseas and make this money, because China, they love basketball, they love their sports, so that's one of the top places to play. I think if you make it there, you're like right below the NBA, to be honest with you. I mean, below the G League, because it's G League to NBA. So I think like China's definitely one of those upper leagues to be in. And I think they get paid, good for what they do. Yeah, like, basketball is your job. So
how much are they getting paid? What, 6 figures? Is that what they're getting
probably
paid?
Probably a little bit more than that, to be honest. Yeah, because I mean, if you have an NBA player that's making millions and then drops down to China, like, they obviously have some sort of good income coming in from there. And I mean, I think at the end of the day, you're doing what you love. So, a lot of these guys, they have a kid or two or whatever, and they're just trying to hoop for the rest of their life.
Exactly. So that's what they want to do.
Yeah. So it's crazy. And I mean, yeah, it's tough, but it's definitely who you know. If you know somebody, like, you'll have a chance.
Again, bro, what's so crazy about that is I've talked to multiple athletes, multiple college athletes, multiple guys that even played, pro ball or played like minor league ball, whatever. Mm-hmm. And same shit, they say the same thing. It's like as you get to a certain point, like, everybody's kind of the same skill level. Yeah, everybody starts being the same. And like you said, it's just who you know. If you know that guy, it'll get you there to that
or
next
you know
step.
A coach, you'll get more playing time than the other guy. Because it's like you said, once you get to like that next level, everyone starts to kind of be the same. So it's like, what's gonna separate you from this guy? It's who you know. You know the coach, and he don't. You're playing more than he is. Like, period. They're not taking a chance on that guy because they know you. So that's the crazy thing about like sports in the next level. I think that was the most interesting for me, is knowing like the politics behind it, like knowing just the fucking like how they try to do you.
It's not just the sport anymore.
No, I think it's every
basketball.
sport. Yeah. I think it's every sport, and I mean, just it's fucking crazy. Like, you don't know it until you're there, and you can't say anything until you're done. Now you're done, and people go on rants all the time about how they're treated or how much they got paid.
It's so
just
funny too,
certain
and a lot of people talk shit on that. You know,
Yeah.
like, oh, they're just bitching. You know,
No,
whatever. And it's not
it's
really
really
that.
fucked
it's
up.
It's the truth.
Yeah,
you know?
no, it's definitely fucked up. Like super, super crazy. Like I don't know if you remember Sua Cravens. He played at USC. He was safety. He got drafted by the Broncos.
Okay.
So he ended up going to Denver. Played there for I think a year or two. He ended up getting traded to Washington. So his first like season there, he's at training camp and he gets hurt. It was his eye, and I know this because I've heard stories about it or whatever, and I always see his posts. So he hurts his eye, goes to the doctors. The doctors say, you know what, like he's hurt, he can't play. So the Redskins, what they try to do, they try to flip the script and say that he wasn't hurt, that the doctor faked it, so he didn't have to play. So they cut him.
Wow. They're like,
yeah.
nah.
So he ended up like getting cut, whatever, retired from football. So he's like on social media every day, like blasting like the Redskins for what they did. Like said that he lied about his injury, that you know he was faking it, he got a fake doctor's note. Like they just threw his ass under the bus, and he'll talk about it like it's politics. Like he stopped loving the game of football just because of everything that happened. And people don't understand is like you get that rep from the NFL, it messes you up on anything you're trying to do. Like if you're trying to be a college coach and they know like you have that reputation or that thought that hey, he's gonna do us dirty, like they won't fuck with you. There's so many college coaches. Yeah, you're done. So that was his situation, and I mean that's a perfect example right there of how messed up things really are. Like it's just I don't know, it's politics, man, and it sucks.
Dejan, for example, he would tell me, you know, like you said, it's just like I don't know, bro. Like he would tell me about he would get shots before every game, and then he would get shots at halftime, and I'm just like, bro, like what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Like, aren't you guys just playing a sport? Like what are we like? You're really just getting shots, like. But
that's the thing is they don't care about you as a person. They just care about what you can do for them.
Yeah,
like
the money.
How you can help them get money, how you can help them win, and how you can bring attention to their program. They don't give a shit how they treat you or what they do to your body. Like I mean, Jeff Webb, he played in the NFL, and I talk to him daily. He's actually like one of my best friends too, and he like they always told him to get the shots, and he never took them. Like, never. Even at State, when he was at San Diego State, he said that guys would line up to get that shot, and he just never did it.
He was like, no.
No, he was like, fuck that. He's like, but they tried to get you to do stupid shit like that. Guys who are hurt. Because it pretty much, like, he said what it is it numbs your whole body, so you have no feeling. But once that shot is done, you feel it, and your body's hurt. And he was like, guys used to be lined up, like, outside the locker room, like, pretty much like Dejan, like, waiting to get this shit. And he just was like, I never did it. Yeah. So it's crazy, like, that's what I'm saying, like, there's...
And he would know good about that. He would know a lot about that whole business, you know?
I don't know if he'll talk about it much, whatever,
I'm sure he won't. I'm sure he won't,
but no, I mean, what Dejan said is definitely right. Like, I've heard people say that, and that's the crazy part. But it's like I said, until you're there, you'll understand how they treat you. You'll understand that you're just, you're just there to make them look good. That's what it is.
Exactly.
It's exactly
make
what it is.
Make the team look good.
Yep.
But this is not even a good transition, but I wanted to ask you about it just because I know you're on social media. I know I've even seen you kind of got a TikTok going. But what do you feel? Do you feel social media is a positive or a negative? And after that, do you feel social media is going to stay the same? And obviously, it'll change or whatever, but do you feel it's going to be the same way as in we just post, put a little thing under the post, put a little, like is it going to be the exact same way? Like, have you thought about that at all?
I haven't thought about that, but I think social media could be, like, both, like, positive and negative, because I feel like for a lot of people, like, social media is the outlet for them to get their stuff out.
Yeah.
So like this show, you know what I'm saying? Like you kind of bank on social media.
On Instagram, I'm always posting
exactly.
that shit.
Yeah, you look to get your stuff out there, and that's the way you got to do it. But I feel like there is some social media that's just terrible. Like some people smoke all day. Ain't nothing wrong with smoking, but I don't feel like you need to post it on social media and everyone's watching you and you know, I mean, you do what you want, but I just feel just stuff like that. Like, I feel
You
like...
just feel like you're not doing nothing.
Yeah,
right?
like,
just kinda,
it's just a bad thing, and people are like, well, then unfollow. But it's not even that, because it still pops up on your feed. Twitter, I mean...
I don't even got Twitter, but I hear about that shit.
Twitter is just like fucking like night and day. Like, you just see some stupid... Me personally, I think Twitter is the place where you get the attention that you don't get from people, because you can say some stupid stuff and people fucking react to it, like whether it's a good way or in a bad way. But most people just want the attention, they want the likes, they want the replies, they want to look cool. So I feel like, and I might be biased with this one, but I feel like even girls on social media, like, they post situations that's going on with their real life, like baby daddy or their husband or stuff like that, and
What's
it's just
the point
like,
of that?
why do you post it on here? You want attention from it, and it's stupid. Like, we've talked a little bit, and I mean, it's just like your situation being blasted on social media, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
What's the point? Like, you want people to tell you, yeah, you're right for doing that, or B, you're wrong for doing that, or C, you just want dudes to just fucking hit you up.
That's basically...
That's all it is.
Yeah,
so I hate Twitter. And I feel like Twitter is the place you go to say shit that you wouldn't say shit to another person face to face or through a text. Period. Yeah. I feel like on social media you got like some kind of balls to post it, because you know, like, that person, they're not gonna confront you about it. I mean, you're somewhere else than they are. So I feel like
people are gonna go find you.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. So I feel like Twitter is like that escape, like, oh, that's where you're gonna act tough. And I mean, I think you even see it with like celebrities and rappers. Like, everyone can act tough on social media, but once it's in person, it's a whole different story. So I hate it. I hate Twitter, and just the shit that I see, like, is so stupid. Like, I'm personally not on Twitter, so I don't know. I'm not even on Snapchat. I'm on Instagram, kind of on Facebook. Kind of, what else am I on? That's about it, I guess. Like LinkedIn, I guess, which is like a work one. Instagram's not too bad, though. Like, Instagram it's cool, because I think that one, like, you don't have to follow certain people, but I think still some of the shit on there is a little... It's not too bad. Just the way it's set up, it's not so politically, like... You know, people aren't taking shots too much at you. It's just kind of like posting what you're doing and shit. But I have seen you on TikTok. What do you think about TikTok? Do you like that as TikTok is just I mean, since I'm quarantined all day, that's kind of like, I just mess around, and
it seems a little funner to me.
Yeah, you get to relax a little bit. I mean, my kids are in some of them, so just to be able to just mess around a little bit. And I mean, I try not to do so much of the dancing, but I just think the other shit that happens in real life, or that did happen in real life, I think it's cool to like have those memories, be like, fuck, I remember I did that as a kid. Like, I think I saw one the other day of like what moms do at 6 a.m, fucking slamming shit while you're trying to sleep on a Saturday because they're up at 5 or 6 a.m. and you're just trying to sleep. So it's just different shit like that you just...
They're all mad because they're trying to sleep.
You have a laugh at it, and I think it's cool, it's fun, but I did hear some shit about it, so I'm kind of like...
The whole China thing?
The whole China thing, so I'm kind of like, fuck, like, what if this is true? Like, they're
definitely doing some sort of checking up on you know, people that got the app, but you know, like, is Google not doing that? Is Apple not doing that?
That's what I'm saying.
Is every other fucking thing that's on your phone not checking up on you? You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much. I mean, everything on your phone is pretty much getting checked out. Calls, texts, emails.
And if you have anything that's, I don't know how your pad is set up, but if you have any smart home shit...
No, I don't have none of that.
That's listening to your shit, too. Yeah.
No, my TV is the smartest thing I got. And that thing, like, we'll talk and it'll, like, play something and then it'll pause and it'll, like, record what you're saying and then, like, delete it. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, I'm talking and you're recording. So it's weird. It's weird.
And it's, like, always listening.
Yeah, it's always listening. Always.
Yeah, it's weird. I have a Google Home. I have an Alexa. I got all that shit. I'm one of those people that's like, our privacy's basically gone. So fuck it, you know? I don't give a fuck. Well. If they want to listen to me fuck, they want to listen to me fucking jack off and shit, it is what it is. Listen to me, I don't give a fuck, you know? But
you're definitely right about that. Like, it's crazy though how like they can like tap into that shit and just see certain things or hear certain
Have
stuff.
you seen any of those fucking cases? Like those
No, I don't pay attention to that because that don't scare me.
Bro, there's been
No.
criminal cases, right, where like somebody gets killed and like there's no evidence, right? But the fucking Google Home catches the lady screaming on the Google Home, shit like that, you know, like it's just so wild, and that's good. I'm happy they caught the person that killed her, or whatever. But just like shit like that, like it's real. Like there's privacy's gonna be gone pretty soon. I think, especially if technology keeps moving the way it's moving.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know, because Corona might even make us take a step backwards and be like, I don't know about technology. I don't know about being so connected. But
that's true. Speaking of Corona, though, like, how do you feel about the Corona stuff? Like, how do you feel about everything going on? Like, as far as like you being a dad and stuff like that.
Kids, I'm not nervous about, just because I know that the death rate is super small. It isn't that crazy, but I'm more nervous about my parents, to be honest. Being around my parents, and if I by some chance would ever pass the Corona, you know, like my dad, he has some health issues, so like shit like that. My kids, I think they'll be all right. I don't know, bro. I at first I was kind of sketched out, but I've kind of come to terms with, and I've talked to a few people, especially from just working different jobs and talking to these people. This one older guy told me, he's like, you know, to be honest with you, and this wasn't even about the Corona. This was just before that. He told me like, when you get older, you kind of come to terms with death. He's like, you just kind of come to terms that everybody's gonna die. You know, and that's kind of how I try to look at it, you know, like we're all gonna die anyways, and if we die today and we die tomorrow, it might be sad, whatever, but you know, we're fucking gonna die, bro. It doesn't really matter, you know, like just kind of make. I think that the only thing that I would say is just make the best out of the days you got, you know. So if some pandemic hits you, you know, you gotta fucking just take advantage of the time you got and not dwell on it. Like,
do you feel like it's changed your lifestyle though? Cause I feel like for me, like my shit is done like a 360.
It fucked up my workout schedule, you know. It definitely fucked up my workout schedule. It fucked up my workout schedule. That's the man, you know, and it did kind of. I felt like it fucked up my shit, I guess. Yeah, I had routine. I had my son too. My older son was in school. Yeah. And now I'm doing school out, you know, I'm doing we're doing homeschool basically. They're giving us paperwork to do at home. So it fucked up my shit, bro. I was doing a lot of drone, because I do drone photography and videography, and kind of real estate kind of slowed down. So I'm not doing any of that really. So it did do like a 180, I guess. It did fucking, and for you, definitely for you, you're a coach and shit. I don't know about your healthcare shit. I don't know how that changed, but coaching, that basically just went to a halt, right?
Yeah, so, like that stopped. Like anything athletic went to a stop. Like no gyms, no parks. Like I went to La Quinta Park. They took off the rims off the basketball courts. Yeah, like that shit's gone.
They do that in India too. I saw that in India. They're doing.
I don't know about Freedom. I think Freedom still has them. I'm not too sure.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, but so fuck. Even drinking. Like I was, you know, after we won CIF. After we went to CIF, like I went on like a big old like celebration. Like I was going out every weekend, like partying, living it up. And then I think like since this shit hit, it's like I haven't drank in probably, you know, like a month.
That's good.
Yeah. So now it's like I don't know. I just don't care to do it. Like I just don't have that urge to drink. Like I am not going out. I'm not gonna party. Like,
I'm not a big drinker. I just drink really on the podcast, to be honest. Which is, I do the podcast like every other day. So that kind of makes me a big drinker, I guess. Only on the podcast. But hey, did you see, kind of, along the same lines, I guess, did you see Venice? It was Venice and I think Santa Barbara, but they put fucking tons, like 8, maybe 15 tons of sand in their skate park.
No, I haven't seen that.
Like, just fucked up, bro. Like, what a waste of time and money, you know? Like, what are we doing? You know, like, cause people, kids are skating still? Like, who gives a fuck, really? You know, like, that one kid skating by himself on his own skateboard is gonna pass the coronavirus to, you know, 12 other kids or whatever, I guess.
I think it's just, like, the biggest thing is, like you said, it's just the older people who have, like, those conditions. Because I'm asthmatic, so this shit has scared the fuck out of me, too.
So that would make sense. It would kind of be a little trippy for you.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, for me, it's, like, you know, I kind of appreciate that shit's on lockdown just because I know, like, I can't catch it. Because, like you said, your parents have a condition, I have a condition, so this shit hits me, like, it might be a little bit different than if it hits you or anybody else. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that's just the big difference. I mean, it's like you say, you're gonna die anyways. I mean, it is what it is. Like, you gotta come to terms with it. But I feel like, you know, just something like that, like, off of just listening for a couple weeks, like, I feel like it ain't too bad. Like, that's really what it is.
Yeah.
So, for me, like, I try to just stay away from people, period. I don't think anybody has it, really, that I come in contact with, but you just never know. Just because I know my condition would be a little bit different.
You would definitely, and I still feel like you'd obviously still be low risk. But you do still got something that would make it a little higher risk for yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel the same way. You know, just be safe. Just kind of keep your distance from everybody. And the coronavirus, honestly, it's bad. People are dying. But if you look at the actual facts, the death rate is probably 2% right now. And the death rate for 70-year-olds is like 10%. So it's really older people is who you gotta worry about, you know? Yeah, and like somebody like you who's in shape and, bro, you fucking got like 4% body fat, you'll be alright, dog. I think you'll survive the fucking coronavirus.
It's been tough.
And then your kids, I'm sure they'll be fine too, you know? For some reason, kids aren't even getting it. Like, they're not even getting it. If they get it, they're asymptomatic, which is like...
That's the crazy part.
Doesn't make no sense to me.
Because I think at first, when it first happened, they were saying, like, kids would be at risk. And, I mean, I've seen some stories of some kids, and, I mean, the shit ain't fun. But, I mean, I think it's like you said, like, it's not happening too much, but it's still, like, you know, I'll watch out for them a little bit just because they're girls, so it might be a little bit more scarier for them. And I think just the whole process of everything is not something that I wish.
Have you looked into it at all? Like where it came from?
I mean, I've heard some stuff. I try not to look too much on the media about that.
No conspiracy shit.
Nah, because I feel like they twist it. I feel like they say one thing and then the next day, like, something totally different. I feel like I don't even watch the news. It's just fucking anxiety. Like, oh, well, today we saw this man, you know, came in, family was outside the hospital crying, he died, and couldn't have a funeral. Like, ain't nobody want to read that. Like,
exactly.
I mean, it sucks that this shit is happening, like, 100%, but it's just some of the stuff that's out there is, like, I mean, even for the nurses and doctors and shit, I mean, there's been doctors that have died, and it's just, like, I personally don't want to read that.
I still gotta live my life, you know what I'm saying?
It sucks, but it's like at the same time, it just makes you worried. It makes you panic and think about shit that you don't need to think about. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, it's been tough. I really try not to watch no social media. Not even like Trump speak, none of that shit. Because I feel like half of this shit is lies anyway, so I'm not gonna sit here and waste 2 hours and not even half the shit you're saying is true.
That is pretty crazy going from being a kid and growing up in, you know, the 90s, the early 2000s to where social media was kind of coming up. The internet was just coming around. It was just starting.
I don't even think in high school it was that big. Like, I think in high school, like, Instagram was probably just starting to, like,
just kind of like
out.
taking off a little bit.
Because middle school was what, MySpace. High school was like Instagram, Facebook,
and then
Facebook.
And then on top of that, right? So we don't got no social media really, and then so we're taking all these news media sources straight factual. We're like, they're speaking straight facts, and everything that everybody's talking about, politics, whatever. We basically believe it. You know, maybe you don't, but you kind of like, all right, whatever. I'm just gonna go with it.
Yeah.
And nowadays, you don't believe shit. There's not one person that you believe. There's not one network. There's nobody.
It's hard. Like, I have to ask people all the time, like, what is a good source to, like, listen to? Because I feel like I said, I feel like one person says one thing, the next person comes out and says something that just contradicts the shit. And then now you're like, all right, so what do I believe? Like, you're saying yes, you're saying
so now I gotta just make it up in my head.
Now it's like, fuck, well, I'll meet you guys in the middle. So it's hard. Like, social media is tough. Like, I just don't know who to listen to and who to believe. So like I said, I try not to get involved with that shit. Like, it's stupid.
So even though you don't like to get involved with social media, I think we should wrap it up. So I think you should shout out your social media. Shout them out, dog. Shout out something. Shout out your
Well, I
Instagram.
don't really know my
Shout out your
Instagram.
TikTok.
I have to look.
All right, look it up real
Let me
quick.
see.
We're cool.
Let me see.
Hey,
Let me see,
on
let me
this,
see.
while he's looking it up, this is a perfect time. Eddie Nino, shout out. He told me, bro, I need to keep telling you guys, fucking put the notification button wherever it is. Hit that shit. Subscribe.
Yeah, so my
I gotta make sure.
Instagram
There you
is
go.
AndrewV36. Andrew_V36.
All right, and
Yeah.
and he's on TikTok too. I don't know what it is,
TikTok, yeah, don't worry about TikTok.
but don't worry about TikTok. I saw him. He was pretty funny on it. I liked it.
Well, if you, on Instagram, my TikTok post is
Oh,
on there, so you can
alright.
just see. But yeah, Instagram for sure. I mean, Instagram is what I'm on most of the time. Twitter.
All right, dude. This is the end, I think, of the 29th episode. Shout out. Thank you again.